Once again, Tesla shares twist and turn on every word from Elon Musk. The founder and chief executive has revealed the heavy strain that he's under. He's described the past year as excruciating. It's a deeply personal interview with the New York Times. Investors showed little sympathy for his plight. The shares are down 9% on the day. Elon Musk believes the worst personal pain has yet to come. At times he was teary, at times he was laughing. He told the reporters sometimes he didn't leave the Tesla factory for 3 or 4 days, and he almost missed his brother's wedding. He was driving to the airport when he tweeted about securing funding to take Tesla private at 4:20 and was not on weed. No one else reviewed that tweet before he posted it. And he often can't sleep without the pharmaceutical Ambien. David Geddes is one of the New York Times reporters who interviewed Elon Musk. He joins me now. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
I suppose we can get into the minutiae of what he said and all that, but what was your overall impression of the man when you could hear his voice?
This is a man who, despite having accomplished so much this year, is clearly on the edge. The extraordinary personal toll his work ethic has taken, working 120 hours a week sometimes, sleeping as the factory, as you say, is caught up with him. And the stress of the short sellers who have been targeting Tesla's stock, second-guessing him, and his, frankly, relentless efforts to engage them on Twitter and fight back at every moment has finally caught up with him.
He doesn't have a number 2 as such, and the board, there's some disagreement, isn't there? He says they're not looking, but the board are.
We have it on good authority that there is a process underway to try to get this man executive help. He is doing everything, and not just one company, not just a Tesla, but he's also the CEO of SpaceX. You have to remember.
When we say he's doing everything, I mean, there must be a chief operating. There must be somebody who's head of the factory. There must be a team of people who are running this thing because of the thousands of employees and the hundreds of thousands of cars they're making.
One of the distinguishing characteristics of this man's career, however, yes, there are plenty of executives, but one of the things that has differentiated this man's career from so many others is the degree to which he's hands-on. If you look at his history, he is involved in the nuts and bolts. He's involved in the production design. He designed the assembly line that these cars are rolling off.
Are the board being negligent in the sense that they have presided over the situation as it has got worse, seemingly without taking any action?
Here's what we know about the board right now. They were caught off guard by the tweet last Tuesday, August 7th. They want him to take a break from Twitter and step back from it. He has refused to do so thus far. We also know that they have engaged a law firm to give them separate counsel from him and the company.
But he, as I remember from last week and his statement, he owns about 20% or so of the stock. It's still the board's company. They are the shareholders' representatives. Why aren't the board being more proactive? Not to get rid of him, but to provide him the support and understanding that he clearly needs.
Many corporate governance experts are asking these very questions today, and you have to remember, this story is still developing. I think we're going to know more about what this company is going to do next week.
That would suggest that potentially the announcement on privatization next week.
No, I didn't mean to suggest that at all. Only to say that this interview came out late last night.
But if
the board is clearly reviewing this story. They're clearly still in deliberations with their outside counsel, and I don't think we are at the end of the story.
So as for Elon Musk himself, I mean, he says he needs Ambien to help him sleep occasionally. Well, there's no specifics how often, but the fact he's able to talk about that is significant. And what got me, though, was the last line of the article this morning. Basically, find somebody else and I'll give them the job. Find somebody else and they can do it. It's not quite a God complex, but it's getting very close to saying, I'm the only person who can do this.
I think that's precisely what he's saying. And again, this has been...
But that's dangerous territory in a public company. When anybody believes that I mean, he is bigger than the company at one level, but it's still another company.
Yeah, I think many corporate governance experts would agree with you.
So what happens next? I mean, do you think, you say he's a man on the edge. Do you think we are, and I'm not asking you to be a psychologist, but are we heading to a scenario where, you know, he has to take time off for his mental health, do you think?
He told us last night that he has not taken a vacation of more than a week since 2001. This is a man who has worked relentlessly, and you can hear it in his voice. He needs a break. I think he would admit as much, but to your point, he doesn't believe that he can afford to take one. So I think the big question is...
That's exactly the problem. That is the problem in a nutshell.
He doesn't believe he can take his foot off the gas.
Metaphorically. Good to speak to you. Thank you.
Thank
Excellent
you.
reporting. It was an excellent article in this morning's paper. Thank you.